All right, everyone, welcome into episode 26 of the Hooley Brothers podcast. Not a lot going on right now, Mike. Gonna be honest here, a bit of a lull in the sports calendar. I'm starting to, get back into some of these sports here, but yeah, a little bit different, a little bit of a different vibe than we were, I think, when we started this in the playoffs and getting into March Madness and everything.
Yeah, we started out during the NFL playoffs. We like the start of hockey and basketball, and now it's just like some regular season one just starting, a couple winding down, where you kind of the table's kind of set right now in the NHL and NBA. Like outside of a couple teams, you kind of know what they are, and you're just excited to see what's going to happen when we get back into the playoff mode rather than like the last couple weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, we definitely have a couple races going on. I think, especially with the NBA and the Eastern Conference specifically. But I know we kind of mentioned last time. There's even more ridiculousness with like the extra 2 play-in spots. So, but definitely a tight race all the way between like 4 and 10 really in the East. And we'll kind of start there, I think, as far as the NBA goes, and we'll start with our hometown Celtics here. We're starting to look good. And then had a real letdown game on Monday night. Again, I only really caught the tail end of it. But again, I put the Bulls without Zach LaVine. Granted, they were without Kemba and Marcus Smart, but you still had your 2 best players here. And obviously, Rob Williams is out too. I mean, there's a few guys, but again, you had both the Jays in there. So definitely been disappointing to come away empty-handed in that one.
Yeah, like you said, so or down 2 starters, and if Kent Williams now 3, and our new acquisition Fournier has been in protocols forever. I feel like he's barely played since he's been here.
Yeah, well, he's had COVID for like 8 years. Where's he been?
I don't know. So, but
he played like 2 games.
Yeah, the 2 best players in the court by far. But I guess
just the Vucevic is good, but
who?
Vucevic. But still, yeah, you're right. 2 best players, yeah.
Daniel Theis revenge game, I guess. Even though,
what did you say? Daniel Theis revenge, yeah. Yeah, he didn't do too much, and he still kept not getting fouls called in his favor, which was a little bit appreciative. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm almost like I would typically be mad or disappointed after a game like that, but like the vibe I got when I put this game on was just so weird. They were wearing the alternate like highlighter green, which was I actually don't hate that. I don't hate them that much. Again, not the home white. So they're wearing that. There's Scal doing play-by-play and Danny Ainge on the GM of the team on the color. I'm like, this just seems like a fake game. Like I almost couldn't get mad at it because it was weird. It was very weird.
It was a very lethargic game. Like I didn't get into like the beginning, like the very end of the second half, and you got games in the 40s at the half. Here in today's NBA is not really the norm. They didn't even hit the 12 threes for the free Chick-fil-A. Like, come on. Even like Jason Tatum has first career triple-double, but like he was
it on like 3 of 17?
Yeah, he's awful from the field, and he just like even like at the end of the game in crunch time, it was after like a pretty big moment. They had a good stop, and they're gonna try to cut it to a 1-possession game, and he literally just lofted a pass to Brown in the post that was the easiest turnover I've ever seen. So they had more turnovers than made shots, which it isn't the best look. But
and that's another. Sorry, go ahead.
It's hard to tell whether they are gonna let out a balloon from the Saturday night win or just was a fluke.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, like you said, you still at the end of the day have the 2 best players on the floor. Worst case, 2 of the 3 best players on the floor, and just I don't know. It was just like I said, it was a weird energy. I mean, again, granted, I tuned on a little bit late there, but. Again, it was weird. They were down by a little bit. Then Jalen had a 3 to tie it, and then they went on like a Chicago 6-0 run, and they could never quite come back. And I don't know if this is more of an excuse of what happened or a critique of the rotation. And he actually didn't look bad, but I'm like, how is Tremont Waters in the game in crunch time right now? He did make a good play at the end to attack the basket. So I can't even, but it's just like, I'm like, really? That's where, I mean, I know Smart and Kevin were both out, but I'm like, there's nothing else we could do here. Like, where's Pritchard? Like, I don't know. It was strange.
Yeah, and like I guess I was like,
a lot of Grant Williams too, which I don't know. I don't know if I love.
I was like, I assume Neesmith's out, but I look at the box scores. He played like 3 minutes, and like I feel like we forgot it.
Also,
Yeah.
We did because I feel like we started talking to Neesmith and then the tournament happened and all that. So we got back. Like what happened with that? Was it like it was like a 3 week stretch? I feel like where he was playing a lot of minutes. He went from 0 to like 20 to like 0 again. I don't fully understand what happened
I feel like ever since the trade, it was like, oh, we got to play Wagner, we got to play Cornette, and then now we got to play Parker, and it just
there.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah, I don't get some of those rotations. And
we got to solidify that thing.
Langford came back too, so I guess there's only room for one of them.
That's actually true. But still, yeah, Romeo coming back probably did alter that. But yeah, I don't know. They got to nail down the rotation somehow.
Well, I was gonna say, like, we could have just played big. Like Tatum clearly showed he could facilitate a little bit. Like,
Yeah, they should have ran point Tatum a little.
yeah, point Tatum and like had like Langford and Neesmith on the wing at least for give him like 10, 15 minutes. Like, you don't have to play him the entire game, but
right. Yeah, I think there's a lot that you could do there. Like like you mentioned, I mean, it's bad that we're clamoring for Romeo Langford and Aaron Neesmith, but when you have Kemba and Smart out of the game,
on a bad night, just to see what you have.
Yeah, just like again, and again, I don't mean to keep attacking the guy, but like, I mean, I'd rather see what they have than Tremont Waters. I kind of know what he is. You know what I mean? He's a fringe G League to NBA player. Like that's it. Like whereas exactly, yeah, Red Claw Hall of Famer. But you have two end of the lottery picks back to back. Just let's see what they got. You know what I mean? Like I agree with you. I think you could run point Tatum a lot more and see what you had in both of them. But yeah, again, just a weird game overall. It's kind of what we've been seeing all year, kind of a letdown loss. I do hope it's a one-off. It does suck the timing of it though, because I think we're about to head on a 3-game losing streak here.
I mean, Suns are playing pretty hot. They did have a pretty big win in Milwaukee right now on Monday night.
Beating Philly right now, 107-99 with 3:45 left.
I guess you can hope getting them on a back-to-back, and then we'll have a back-to-back on Friday night going to Brooklyn.
I don't think anyone's playing tomorrow night. I think they are choosing to rest Kemba the first night, and Jalen's doubtful with the shoulder injury because this team can't be healthy. What's that?
It's gonna have to be the Tatum show. I know he's also questionable, but he'll probably end up playing back both games.
I would have to imagine Tatum at least plays, yeah. But I mean, you're already done there.
The only silver lining would be like, okay, that's the third quote unquote tough game on an East Coast road trip by Western Conference team. We got Milwaukee, Philly, then Boston, 3 games in 4 nights. Maybe you can see like even if everyone's healthy, like fatigue and jump shots. That's all I can really hope. I just hope that Tatum just has another bounce back game going from 47 to 12, maybe back up to like 30. And hope we can get lucky with another O'Shea Pritchard type night.
I could be wrong here too. I thought I saw our guy Greeny say this, but it looks like Kemba's actually probable tomorrow. It's his illness, non-COVID, so I guess he would miss the Brooklyn game. So you could try to go Kemba Tatum and then Brown Tatum, like back-to-back nights. Like I don't know, but yeah, Fournier's still out.
Harden's still out, and Durant came back on Sunday, got hurt again.
Yeah,
the next 2 games. So
yeah, I cut the tail end of their game against the Pelicans last night. It was the Kyrie show. So yeah, I mean, maybe you get them a little banged up and you could. Sorry for any technical difficulties there, but hoping to catch Brooklyn a little banged up and perhaps split that set there. But I think it's entirely possible you could go on a 3-game losing skid there, which is obviously very important because I don't know, like 2 of the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference right now are the Knicks and the Hawks, who are slated in that 4-5 match at the Celtics slid down to 6 here. So obviously not in a spot. I think if it's Celtics, you want to end up in that 4-5 game, no matter what. Ideally the 4, but I don't know. Atlanta and New York are really putting some heat on us here.
Yeah, what's the Knicks have won 7 straight now?
I think so. Yeah, I think they were 6 and then they won their last game.
Yeah, I think they held like the Hornets like 34 points in the second half last night. So they're playing hot, and gotta say, I don't know why the Pacers moved on from Nate McMillan's done a great job coming in the interim for the Atlanta Hawks while the firing of Lloyd Pierce. I think he has like 66 win percentage or something like that since he's been there. It's absolutely ridiculous. So like,
yeah. So who is the coach of the Pacers now?
I think some like European guy.
Is he one of the Spurs guys, like assistants, or no? No, he's the Charlotte coach, I think. Borrego.
Yeah.
He's the short. Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember like looking at like, was that really an upgrade? Like when McMillan left, I think they just panicked again swept in the first round.
I think yeah, I just feel like they've just flatlined or so. I don't know. It was weird. I thought McMillan's a good coach. I'm surprised they did get rid of him. But yeah, the Knicks and the Hawks are slated in the 4-5 spot right now. Celtics still just again kind of on that. They're sitting at 6 right now, I believe. I'm not sure what the it changes every day because everyone's obviously so close. But yeah, they're technically half game behind the Knicks, same amount of losses, but one less win. And then it's just so weird because that top 6 now, again, the ESPN, you're just seeing that line of 8. Now there's 2 different lines, 6 and 1 for 10. So, yeah, very, very interesting there. But yeah, the Celtics really got to hang in with these teams. They kind of dug this hole, obviously playing poorly in stretches. Atlanta, and New York are all 8-2 in their last 10, but obviously the Celtics were down pretty bad before that stretch. So yeah, Knicks have won 7 in a row, and yeah, it's gonna be tough to hang with these teams, especially with the Phoenix and Brooklyn back to back coming up. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that as far as the Celtics go. So again, next time we record, well, those 2 games will be done. I'm trying to see what time is the tip off on Sunday.
It's 1 p.m., so it'll probably be
We'll see.
most likely during, maybe a little after. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have a better idea of what's going on with this team on Sunday, so we'll keep an eye there. Since last time we did log off, though, we're just gonna go through a few notes here. Bam hit a buzzer beater on Sunday right after we logged off, so Heat trying to gain some momentum here.
Yeah, probably a big win for them, taking care of the Nets. Like again, Durant was playing. That was a game he ended up getting hurt, so big win for them.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, yeah, the Heat kind of sitting at 7 right now, so they are in that play-in scenario as things currently stand. They're also trying to sneak up and trying to avoid that in the first round there. But then I also see on Sunday, Mike, you wrote here, and I didn't get the specifics. I just saw the name trending. Our guy Lou Dort had a Lou Dort game on Sunday. Do you have the specific line there?
I think it was something like he had 24 first quarter points, end of the game with only like 29. But that's the torture chamber ride. You'll just get hot for a little bit.
Lou Dort's awesome. He obviously had that great stretch in the bubble there last year. But so we just wanted to give a quick shout out to Lou Dort. Steph just continues to be what's it up to? Are we up to unconscious now on the meter? Is that the which I agree with. I mean, it seems like automatic. This guy, he's I
heard a comment today from him. They'll probably add to your hatred. They asked him about the MVP, and he's like, "Well, it is me."
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that much. I'm gonna be fair. I mean, I
thought that was gonna.
I mean, I like to watch it and see what his attitude was, but if it was even remotely playful, but still, yeah. I mean, he's making a case, man. Like I don't think anyone's running away with that. I know you haven't heard you noted about Jokic and how he is playing well. I don't know if it's because he's a big man or because he's in Denver or what about him. It's just it doesn't quite pop as much. So I'm not like, oh, that's the clear cut MVP here.
Well, it was the same night. Everyone's going crazy, and rightfully so. I think it was like 8 straight games with like 10 made threes or some ridiculous stat that like no one's ever get it. Everyone's going crazy for his 49-point on Monday. Meanwhile, again, double overtime game here. Just if you just didn't, this game probably went underneath the radar. Jokic had 47 the same night with 15 and 8. So 47, 15, and 8 the same night. And like people are just forgetting like he's still putting up numbers too. He's only with the injury to Jamal Murray.
That's true, and he's gonna have to do a lot more, and I think that's gonna be these last few weeks of the season here, seeing where he is Denver positioned and kind of the numbers that he's putting up and what he's doing for the team. But I agree. I think Steph might have started this stretch a little bit late. I think if this had started maybe closer to the All-Star break and continued here, it's definitely a nice stretch. He's definitely on track to be the player of the month, that's for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I still think you're looking at one of the big men, probably leaning Jokic a little over Embiid right now. But I mean, both those guys have had phenomenal seasons, and yeah, I don't know, Steph. I think you're a little above. He's gonna get a lot of votes though, for sure. He'll be like maybe even top 3 at this point, but for sure top 5.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, again, he's definitely in the hottest tear. It wouldn't surprise me if he somehow came in and did that, but I still think you have to look at the full body of work, and it's Jokic or Embiid here for the MVP race.
I feel like recently they want to give it to someone new. I mean, Giannis was ridiculous last time. We have back-to-back, so I feel like they want to give it to a first-timer instead of a a third time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I do have this Phoenix, and this can lead into our conversation with the Suns, who you wrote here are the real deal. I know we kind of mentioned it as far as, again, they play the Celtics tomorrow night. It's the first half of the Celtics back to back, but Devin Booker just kind of hit a proverbial dagger here. It was a 2. They're up by 4. Now they're up 6 with about 14 seconds left. He hit a nice fadeaway jumper at the shot clock buzzer. So I don't know, man. Sogo is for real. The Suns out, guns out here. I mean, they're still sitting pretty in that 2 seed in the West.
Yeah, it's like they've just been sneaky, been playing. What was it, like 41-16 basketball lately?
Yeah, it's probably even better now, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
See where we're at. Yeah, 40. If they win tonight, it'll be 42-16.
Yeah, and like some big wins. Even just looking at this month, like they've beaten the Jazz. They've blown out some pretty down teams. They've now beaten the Bucks on the road. They're up. Looks like they're going to be beating the Sixers on the road. And they have the Suns, Nets, and Knicks coming up. Only to come
Celtics,
yeah. Celtics, Nets, Knicks to finish out the East Coast road trip. Only to come home to play the Clippers and the Jazz. Jesus Christ, this is a ridiculous schedule for them.
Yeah, and they'll probably come out with a pretty good record.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Their last game at home, they got blown out by the Spurs.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I mean, it's something. The Chris Paul effect is real. I mean, like I said, it seemed like he was kind of, maybe his last year in Houston before James Harden shipped him out of town. Like, I feel like it seemed like he was kind of on the back end there, and then the job he did in OKC, and then now the job he's doing here in Phoenix. And obviously Devin Booker's a huge part of their success, but just something about, I think Chris Paul's presence in the locker room and just leading a young team who was coming off a hot bubble. I think that was like a perfect sign for them. You have this momentum, you have this young core. How do you make sure that doesn't fizzle out, and that it wasn't just kind of a brief moment there in the bubble? And I think Chris Paul was a perfect signing for this team. And
they did a good job. Like, I mean, even just with their draft lately, like getting Aiden, getting Bridges, like getting Cam Johnson. So a lot of people.
Yeah, I was going to say Johnson's been real good for them.
Yeah, he's been great off the bench, and even just kind of filling the holes, like getting Sarek from the Timberwolves.
Yep.
Signing Jay Crowder, he's been pretty good for them all year. So, and even just guys at the end of the bench with Javon Carter, Campaign, Frank Kaminsky, each one more. Like, these are Torrey Gregg too from like they got him for free because I remember he got shipped off to Milwaukee and he's never cracked.
Wait, from Denver,
from Denver to Milwaukee, and they got him up. So like they've done a good job just facilitating out this roster. So I just wanted to give them credit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they definitely.
Then they go on a 5-game losing streak, but
but I think a great job putting this team together. Devin Booker, best player. Chris Paul, most important player.
I agree with that.
No, but he just definitely seems like, again, the glue guy for this team and a great signing altogether for this Phoenix team. And sitting at the 2 seed now, we'll see exactly where they end up and what they can do in the playoffs here. But they're definitely in a good spot to face one of these tournament winners, whoever ends up with that 7 seed. Could be, again, the only team I'd be afraid of there if them. I mean, Luka's obviously a killer, but if you get Steph Curry continuing his, I'd really like Steph Curry. But even then, I think you probably still are in a good spot.
I was referring more to the Mavericks that have matched up well, but again, scary Warriors just because Curry.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though they can't carry a team.
What's that?
The stupid narrative that he can't carry a team.
Yeah, I mean that just doesn't make sense. He's definitely done it twice. Once to a championship, once to a record-breaking season. And granted, he had a lot of help. I'm not saying he can. I don't think anyone thinks Steph Curry's like taking this team to the NBA Finals. Like I don't think. But like, I mean,
07 LeBron, but
no, exactly. But I think he can. Depending on who they face, like they can at least give a good series to someone. So, Korkmaz just hit a 2-point game. Suns got it in though, and they're fouling Chris Paul 0.8 left. I have to imagine this thing's pretty much over. But Korkmaz made it a little interesting. You don't know what the spread was here. We could have some implications on that one. But not Philly at home. They're probably favored anyway. So we'll see on that. But anyway, just to kind of a few final notes here on the NBA. We kind of hit on Brooklyn again in the second half of the back-to-back on Friday. Harden's out for a while. Durant's been out since, like you said, he played on Sunday, but kind of tweaked that injury there. So they could very well both be out on Friday's game. Mike's eyes just lit up. Did something
According to
just happen?
ESPN, Phoenix was 3-point favorites.
Oh, were they?
Did
Okay,
he,
it's not gonna be that big of a deal though, because Chris Paul's just made it 3 again, and I'm assuming he's gonna
miss it?
I guess you could miss on purpose. Yeah, geez. No, I just make it a 4-point game. Why would you not? Oh, you did miss. Oh wow, 3-point game.
Timer not though.
Oh, Philly just shot like a full court. It came very close, actually. Embiid put it up. I don't know if he got it off in time, but it hit the. Here, I gotta watch this replay again. Great podcasting here. So Embiid gets the rebound, immediately throws a one-handed shot. Oh, that was very close. That's like it was closer than the Hayward shot. Like it was like it hit the rim like 3 different times. It was like backboard, front rim, back rim, and went out. Yeah, actually, no, you should definitely make that for that reason. I don't think it did. I think it was an accident on Chris Paul's part, but yeah, it was like, geez. That was a good bid from Embiid there. Jeez. But yeah, so the Suns win again, 42-16. Jeez, they're turning over. Like that was so close to falling down. You'll have to catch that replay.
Oh yeah.
Chris Paul had 28 points tonight. So yeah, 28 and 8. It's funny you mentioned Javon Carter though too, just to kind of wrap up there. I feel like every few years I fall in love with a senior. It was like I had Buddy Hield in 2016. There was Javon Carter his year. It was a huge Javon Carter guy.
Yeah, I put him in my Final Four, sneaky for him, and I think they gave Villanova the best game that year.
Yeah, if I remember right.
I didn't watch this game. So I had plans as my senior year. I'd be in an Uber going somewhere, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like West Virginia is like up by a point with like 4 minutes left. They might do it. Like that was like my big upset to put me ahead, and then Villanova just took over the rest of the game. But
NBA TV now doing a flash. They're showing last 55.2 seconds. The Wizards, they're on a bit of a tear, huh? I know we mentioned them last time. They're playing the Warriors rather up 4, but I'm assuming Steph's about to do something ridiculous. But yeah, it's kind of quickly wrapping up. Again, we were on the Nets there. Sorry to kind of stray a little bit getting back there. So again, could be without Harden and Durant, but I did catch the very, very tail end of the game versus Pelicans last night. And again, you can clown on them all you want, but like this team with Kyrie Irving is still a very good team.
Yeah,
they'll beat up on, especially on bad teams. But I mean, yeah, I think he had 29 last night, or maybe even more.
Yeah, like he played some of last year, and he still got them to a 7 seed. And
yeah,
really playing. So like the fact that he's all in because he's just waiting for them to get back, like that's definitely better than it. Definitely better than the 4 through 6 junk. That's
I'd say. And then there was our guy Blake who had a thunderous layup last night.
He took that
didn't quite make it to the rim, but hey, it's 2 points. It counts. But so I mean, you have him in your supporting cast as well. So that's obviously still in good shape there. But yeah, so again, very well could still lose even if you only have Kyrie as far as the big 3 goes there. But oh my God, Wizards just turned it over. 2-point game. Russ just threw it away, and missed layup. Oh wow! And then Bertans just got a rebound. That was crazy. Crazy play here. I love these live look-ins we get mid podcast.
Wizards top pick in this game.
They were what?
They lost their top pick, Denny Advigisha, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Hairline fracture. He's already up for this. Already called him out for the year. So
damn, that sucks. Who missed this layup for the Warriors? Was it Bazemore?
Was it Bostano?
No, it wasn't Bazemore. It was
Damian Lee.
I have to catch that. It might have been Damian Lee. I'm trying to get the numbers. It wasn't Oubre. Was it Poole? I don't know. We'll have to. It could have been Jordan Poole. I don't know. But anyway, so then that's it. The only final note we have here is that AD might be back this week for the Lakers. So I'm sure they're in desperate need of that after the week that was. Or not the week that was, rather, but versus just like the stretch they've been on kind of without Brown and ID here.
And I think they're fine with it. They didn't need to be the top seed in the conference this year. get their
No, they kind of proved that last year, and then now they're sitting at 5. You're gonna play a banged up Denver team most likely in the first round, and you'll probably take care of them pretty easily.
yeah, like that was like the year like LeBron was the 4 seed and just made the finals. The
And
year
then you'll beat the Warriors after they beat the Jazz in the first round. Just kidding. But we'll see obviously how that one shapes up. So yeah, well again, we'll keep an eye on everything. We're getting into the final stretch run here. Big weekend for the Celtics, as we mentioned before, tomorrow night and Friday before the Sunday matinee, and we'll obviously see where they're positioned after that. Let's hit the ice, Mike, with some NHL notes here. So the Bruins are still undefeated since the trade deadline, and we still have 2 left with Buffalo. They were able to win their first matchup there, but it was again they have 2 more games happening this week, obviously, and I don't know. So we got Tuukka back now. I heard there's been a lot of talk of Swayman lately. Again, he's not in the position to overtake Tuukka yet, right?
Yeah, and like even just the way like the top line talks about him, like Marchand after the game was like, "Oh, so good to have him back." Like adds like a extra jolt to our team. Like clearly these guys want to play for him. So even like if you want to like if you think that's like, "Oh, let's run the young hot guy," I wouldn't play that card quite yet. Like you've seen teams like if like even as early as the first round of the playoffs, like one year, like the cup runs that Pittsburgh went on where they had Fleury, and then like after like 2 games, like okay, we gotta go over a young guy, do that right away. So that's why I can understand. Like I would be pissed if Halak's the backup. Like I definitely got to keep this guy in the active roster. Just
which I think makes sense, and I think a lot of that's just sports radio trying to get Tuukka out of here too soon. I mean, they're biased against them. I'm biased because I am a Tuukka guy, but I think
a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, if, this kid's the real deal. Like, yeah, definitely keep him in here as the backup. Sit Halak, whatever you got to do. But yeah, if Tuukka, screws up somewhere down the line and is a major liability out there, then yeah, maybe you make the move to the kid. But I think doing that now is a little bit premature. Yeah, it definitely seems so. But the team again, like you're right here, only getting better with a healthier Tuukka and kind of beefing up on defense there. So. Yeah, hopefully even brighter things ahead for this team.
Yeah, we got to get Carlo back, and I think Kevin Miller, like even that's more just depth D, but like again, like Zaboral and all them back the past couple of weeks has been pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, again, you mentioned before their win against Buffalo last night, and then kind of like the Celtics, a bit of a back-to-back and a matinee. So it'll be kind of kind of hand in hand this week, the 2 against the Sabres Thursday and Friday, and then in Pittsburgh to face the Penguins 3:00 on Sunday. So we'll again, same situation, might be a little before or during that, depending on how our schedules shape up. But we'll have again a better idea about the weekend once we get to the next show.
Yeah, I mean that'll be good. Just like looking at the standings, you see the 3 teams above them all 46 game played, where the Bruins only 44, and they're 62, 62, 61, and we're at 58. So you just got to take care of business against Buffalo, get 2, maybe 3, and you're right in that mix. Like I know they're going to be playing games. That's actually get immediately back up to them, but like,
it won't be immediate, yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, even in those 2 games, if you can get 3, like wherever it shapes out, you know what I mean? Like the 2 games that you have to play more than these other teams. And again, I don't know if that's happening if every team is playing the same amount of games just because of all the COVID cancellations. Like I don't know if all are being made up, but provided that they are, and I'm thinking of a sport like hockey, you kind of do because it's all point based. It's not percentage based. Then yeah, if you get even 3 points out of those 2 games, you're looking at, you're already tied with Pittsburgh, and then who knows what happens from there. So, so yeah, again, just kind of going through the rest of the league. I know we mentioned it before. So we have that tight Central Division 10. What? No, Mike, go ahead.
I just want to do one last comment on the East. Did you see my note that there was some NHL history last night?
Yes, I didn't know if that was more of a league-wide thing or if you said East still tied up. See, Mike, quick sidebar, or not even sidebar, but like, here's what confused me. I keep forgetting this is like Eastern Conference. So I was like, oh, I should talk about the other division first. Not just I forgot the Bruins are in the East and Central, all that. But yeah, NHL history last time, Mike. Let's hear it.
For the first time ever, a team that was outscored in the third period by 5 goals won a game.
Really? So which game was that? I'm just going
Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Devils 7-6. They were up 6-0 after the second period, or outscored 6-1 in the third, and still won in regulation.
Oh my god!
I think teams were like 0-270.
Okay. Jeez. Well, that's an interesting stuff. I mean, I guess that's why you build up that lead, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So
41 seconds in, they had a power play goal, so they probably picked up the penalty in the second period. But I just found that hilarious last night when I saw it.
is 6-0 the new most dangerous lead in hockey?
Well, they won, so
That's still dangerous. But
yeah, yeah. It went. It was 3 unanswered, 7-3, 3 unanswered, like one with
yeah,
less than a minute left. So
yeah. Well, Mike, and quick, again, sorry to hop all over the place now, but just a quick NBA note while I say it. The Knicks or Hawks have to lose tonight because they are playing each other in the Garden right now. So one of them's going to drop. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. But going back to hockey here, just kind of going around the league, and Mike, thank you for that historical note there. Central Division, I know we mentioned it last time, and I don't know, Tampa's fallen back a little bit. We got a two-way tie in first place between Carolina and Florida for sole possession right now in the Central Division.
yeah, Tampa had 4 games at home, where it was 2 against Florida and 2 against Carolina. So that was
Yeah.
the time to make up some points, and they could only go 2-2, where both their wins were in regulation. I mean, we're in overtime. Sorry. So even the times they got 2 points, they're giving a point back to the teams above them. So the fact that all
Right.
4 of those were at home in Tampa, probably when there's a little more fans there. So
Oh yeah, for sure, for
that
sure.
was
Great state of
big
Florida.
for them. But I mean, there's still a 11-point gap between them and fourth place. So it was just kind of like big for them falling out at the top seed. But seems like Carolina's in the driver's seat with tied, but the 2 games in hand.
Yeah. So we figure. So is the goal still? It's 50. It was 56 games, right? That was the season.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, getting towards the end, so yeah, teams have anywhere between like it seems like 10 and 13 more games left, roughly.
Yeah.
Maybe some more or less due to COVID, but yeah. So that's kind of. I think if we hop out to the two again, I can't even call it Western Conference, the Canadian Division and the Western Conference. So Canada, I mean, you've kind of reiterated this a few times on the show already, Mike. But just the lack of quality out of the North. You're waging war against Canada, but
Yeah, I mean, Toronto is definitely the cream of the crop there, but they've lost 5 straight, especially to Vancouver, who hasn't played. They had like a 26-game layoff, 26-day layoff, and they've come back in the
wait,
second
26-day layoff.
COVID. They got hit hard.
Yeah, 39 games played.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I saw that on the
Jesus.
bottom line Saturday night. They're playing the first game back. I'm like, how is that possible? And then on Monday or Tuesday, they played Toronto and beat them. So
It is weird because you can even go back to like one of the first times we were on here, and I talked about how NHL seems like they had the best plan. You know what I mean? Like only play the same 7 teams essentially. You don't move, like you're only staying there. Yet they seem like they've had the most delays out of any sport we've seen between NBA and MLB right now. It's just a little crazy.
well, it's just a different world right now with like some people getting vaccinated and stuff. It was like or like last year, like and like Clevenger and Police Act to switch over to baseball went out. Like one got traded out of town because they like broke protocols. Or now like you see like stories that like the Rockets were at a club last night. Like I've seen pictures of Pasternak like eating dinner in the North End. Again, like that's like outside and safer than being in a strip club and whatever. It seems like
No, but I'm just
they
saying,
want
like
to tie
it's
people
weird.
down to like being inside as much as they did last year.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's funny because like I mean the NBA's had their issues and everything, but
Yeah.
like it seems like the NHL. I mean, like they never had a team go like a month without playing a game. Like it just seems like if I would expect them to at least be on the level of, if not
Yeah.
better, with this setup. So that is a little bit surprising there. See, obviously, but yeah, very interesting that Toronto can lose 5 in a row and still be pretty comfortably in the lead there as far as the number 1 spot goes there in the Northern Division.
Yeah. Well, Edmonton and Winnipeg's kind of like getting it back up because like if you look at them, they're pretty much on the Bruins standard.
Yeah.
I think Edmonton was just really off to a slow start.
Plus, in Toronto's defense, it seems like they started pretty strong because they are still 28-13-5. So they were clearly 23-8-5. Or I know that combines over.
Just like the point totals don't seem as high because like
right, but they're still a good, it's still a solid team.
Yeah, it just kind of or no like to stand on. The only 2 teams eliminated from the playoffs right now are the Devils and the Sabres in the East.
I was about to say, Mike, we have a new team because I know you mentioned the Sabres the other day, where the New Jersey Devils have joined them. But yeah, so then I think quickly kind of going out west here, Knights still in first place, but that's another interesting one where the games played kind of come into play because Colorado's only lost 9 games this year in regulation, 4 in overtime.
They're hit with COVID currently.
Right. So they have two less games played, and they're now with 2 points. So that's a situation where Colorado could easily overtake them. And
Well, that's the backside running. If you get it now, the fact that there's so
mhm.
little time in the schedule, like even if they do hit their games maximum, that's going to be a lot of hockey and a lot of days just to get to
Yeah,
the playoffs.
yeah,
So that's when you could see like, never mind. I was gonna say like I looked at third place and you could see a team like, and I saw the Minnesota Wild, and
yeah.
they're
They're not happening.
you're not breaking totally. So who knows? Maybe the Coyotes get like the Darkos out of there, or the Blues will just sneak in the playoffs and win it all.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that pretty much does it for NHL. And before we hop into MLB, Mike, I do have another live update for us. And this one's not quite as fortunate as we've seen a lot of injuries in the NBA this year right now. Trae Young being helped off the court. Seems like a knee injury. I didn't quite see the play. I just saw him laying down. He's being helped by teammates, but he is walking, if that makes sense. He kind of just has the two guys on his shoulders. So obviously hoping that Trae comes back again. Atlanta doing a great job this year. We've seen and them get up into the middle of the standings here in the 4 or 5 spots. So obviously don't want to see him go out. So let's hope that Trae Young's okay there. Again, I'll have to see if there was. It's one of those. Okay, so he jumped up. Oh, classic. He landed on. Landed on a foot. I can't quite see who number 14 is there for the Knicks there, but I don't want to say it's a good sign, but it's like, yeah, it's like something that really, it's like a stinger, right? You know what I mean? Like it really sucks at the time, but at least it's not like he was just running and his like tire blew out or something. You know what I mean? So, so we'll see what's going on with Trae there, that he can stay healthy. But yeah, now let's hop over to MLB. And I don't know. I think we had some positive notes for the Sox, but not looking as great tonight. Last time I checked, not sure if anything's really changed. 4-2, they cut the lead in half. Okay.
And they kind of just left 2 guys on too. It was second and third one out, and Verdugo and Martinez couldn't get the guys in. So
yeah. So obviously last time we spoke, they were coming off. I think we were in the middle of the second game, but anyway, they lost both
between
games.
A doubleheader, but you can kind of tell the doubleheader was not going their way.
Right, especially with the 7-inning games, but bounced back very soundly on Patriots Day, that 11 a.m. start that I love so much. But they went right at a very good pitcher soon, and I know you said that again, 2 good games at Oregon against great pitchers, but Lucas Giolito, and they were on him from the first inning. They put up 6 runs in the first, and they got him out of the game in the second.
Yeah, I remember he was saying it looked like he just didn't have any control of his fastball. I think there were a lot of changeups, and they even gave up a run in the first inning. They were down 1-0 before that whole 6-run outburst. They just hit the home run right off the bat, and then it was just a hit parade after that.
Yeah, sound machine. So Tim Anderson, that was the one thing I was happy about in that game early on. But like you mentioned, they just were on him early. Giolito didn't seem to have his stuff, and they really took advantage of it. And really, it was over pretty early. I had it on in the background, and then I just kind of stopped paying attention once it got to like 10-3 or whatever it was.
A good thing on a Monday work day.
No, but it was a good feeling about putting on at 11 a.m. It made it seem like the day was
it cut the day
a little faster. Yeah, for sure. You're like, 11 a.m. It's
because I got the 2. Okay, like that's like a big that's like the cutoff. Yeah. Everyone's done with lunch at 2.
Yeah, and that's a day I always make sure to take off of work. Again, obviously going to being at BC and being on mile 21, and just like the marathon became such a big part. Like I said, we've mentioned before, we've gone to the Patriots Day game before. Obviously with COVID and there's not really anything I'm missing out on. That's the reason why I haven't taken off these last 2 years, but definitely want to get back to that because it's such a great tradition to you're either like at the marathon and watching that, or you're watching the Sox game in some capacity.
Set a bar in the city at the very least. Yeah,
it's a great setup. So looking forward to having that back next year. But then they were able to hop on Ryu last night for Toronto and have another pretty good win against a division opponent there. So able to win that game 4-2. Now they're losing 4-2 again, top of the 6th here. It was 4-0 pretty early because it seems to be the real weak link in the pitching staff, Garrett Richards.
Yeah, I kind of haven't been his biggest fan since he's been here. He had that stupid mustache to begin with, and you see it? I watched a little bit today. Like he was throwing like 95 mile per hour fastballs to pick off. He kept on trying to pick off people, and then It was one time Simeon
They
was
throw it away.
no, Simeon was on first base. He threw like a 95-mile fastball, hit him in the foot. Then immediately on the next pitch, Garrett Richards just didn't look at him, and Simeon literally walked to second base and got a stolen base.
Oh my god!
Put him in a blender.
The only thing I will say is I feel like last time he pitched, I was ready to blame everything on him, but it was kind of more the offense. Was that the siren game that he pitched?
Yeah, he gave up 3 runs all unearned.
Yeah, no, I was ready to attack him, and I was like, well, the offense hasn't done anything, and then obviously Verdugo hit that. So I did cut him slack for that one, but yeah, just off to another not great start tonight. This is a team. I mean, like obviously going into the year, I don't think anyone was like super stoked with the pitching staff, but it seems to be mostly surrounded by. Hey, I feel like you can get at least even one more arm in here, you're going to be in much good shape or much better shape.
Well, Tanner Houck's just sitting there. He's clearly proven he can get it done.
Like, yeah, get Richards out of here. I'm fine with.
Put him on the pen at least. Like we need some long relief guys.
Yeah, I'm all set with that. But
Rod, even well, you might need have a Garrett Richards and Pivetta because Pivetta likes getting in the jams and getting his pitch down up, but I like Pivetta.
Yeah.
Who else is there?
What's that?
Who's the fifth guy? Who am I forgetting?
Because you say we got Erod, Uvalde,
Richards, Pivetta, and
we're forgetting someone obvious, aren't we? No, who the heck? It's someone's. I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, who's pitching? Who's pitching tomorrow? Pivetta. I'm not sure.
Scrolling through here.
Oh, Perez Day.
Oh, duh, Martin Perez. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't make a decent ball game. So even like having Richards around for like Pivetta and like and Perez just to like kind of back him up. But even like stretching Houck out, like you're gonna need him to like beat some innings. I know it's kind of Andreas's role, and Whitlock, who's been fantastic out of the pen.
So the right Garrett.
Yeah.
And but then just staying in the division, we talked about how much the Yankees stink. They were able to win a game last night, Mike, 3-1, but they're not 4-0 in the bottom of the ninth right now. So everything kind of evens out.
A lot of Yankees fans, the sentiment on Twitter last night was like the Kevin Malone, like it's good to win one. Just like
yeah, exactly. Oh, I did see that meme floating around. Yeah, but. So back to their losing ways, the Yankees, obviously. So they have a set with Cleveland coming up, and the Sox, they just had a 2-game set versus Toronto, right? And then the weekend is
Seattle.
Who we got this weekend? Seattle? Okay. All right. Kyle Lewis is back.
Yeah. And your boys pitching tomorrow.
Justin Dunn?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, my fellow alum there. Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
And one last note on the Sox. It's nice to give Remy a couple nights off and hear an Eck. Like he was having so much fun looking at the hair between Flo Bichette and Lourdes Gurriel. He was just like, "Oh, that is awesome. That is the best." Like he was just talking for a solid 5 minutes.
Another note that I have to kind of going off of that because that is awesome. I can hear Eck talk about the guy's hair all day, all his different euphemisms for different pitches and all that, but. Another sneaky good note that I was listening to on Monday is how about just Dave just like giving him so much grief for not waking up for day games? I loved it. We have a night game tomorrow. Echo be back.
Well, that was a really weird broadcast on Monday. We had the lights going off at the studio. You had the Verdugo Red Sox guy in the stands.
Oh, the little paper sign.
Yeah, Dave O'Brien talking about his glory days at the drive-in. It was quite the broadcast on.
Yeah, I think I had to turn the volume off at some point, but I just that's something I hit on early. Was just he just kept going around. And Remy's like, "Man, you're really digging into him, huh?" Just like because I've noticed that he doesn't do any day games. He's a night guy, which I get. Probably from back in his younger days too. He'd be out late at night at the clubs there. I remember he's talked about Studio 54 and all that. So, X definitely character. Also, another note too. X finally with the first home run of the year last night. So hopefully that power. I mean, he's been hitting well, but I mean, hopefully we can see more of that power.
400s and finally got that power to come through, which is nice because we were down 1-0 at the point. Really set the tone for the offensive attack in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so. Weekend series coming up with Seattle. And we'll see if they can come back tonight down 4-2 again, currently in the 6th inning right now. I know you mentioned like the jam-packed AL Central. Looks like we have, I mean, it's very early in the season, obviously, but this is looking like it's going to make some sort of NFL joke with Chicago's 9-9, so that kind of ruins it. And then Obviously, we have 17 games this year in the NFL, but 9-7 and an 8-8. Kansas City, Chicago, and Cleveland all kind of jam packed in the middle there.
Yeah, I've talked about it. Like the Royals lineup is sneaky good. I mean, I see the final score last night. Like they've lost 2 straight, but it was a 14-7 game with Tampa last night. Like pretty crazy. So
Yeah,
they've been playing good ball. I mean, Chicago, they had a tough series here, but Rodon's look fantastic for them. And then Cleveland's just been really behind Shane Bieber. I know you mentioned they're playing the Yanks this weekend. I think we got a Bieber Cole game, so that's gonna be a must watch. So
okay, all right. Appointment TV for sure. Yeah, this is definitely one of those divisions where the winner is not quite at 90 games or 90 wins rather. So
yeah,
I think we're kind of on track for that right now.
but the White Sox are gonna take the next step. It seems like they're kind of just like focusing on growing their team.
Yeah, and Anderson was out for a little bit too. So I think that's something to consider too. So maybe they will kind of hit their stride here, but
Yeah,
because their run differential's much better than the other two teams.
yeah, I think they're just gotten between the Rodon
Yeah,
no hitter. That was a nice 8 win for them, and they kind of destroyed us in that twin killing in that doubleheader. So
that's true. Yeah. But yeah, going around, I mean, yeah, Oakland, Seattle, LA, that's also a pretty good race out west to start. A little bit of better records there, all of 7 losses.
yeah, so start with Seattle. Like out of them out of nowhere is pretty good. So I'm excited for that
Mhm.
series this weekend. Like they played the Dodgers
Oh,
pretty tough on a 2-game
I,
series.
I know where you're gonna go here. I didn't
Ride
realize this too. Oakland was 1-7.
ride the wave. Yep.
They were 1-7 and
Yeah, because
now
they got
11
swept
games in a
4
row.
games by Houston. Then the Dodgers came
Jeez.
into town,
Oh well, obviously, yeah.
and then they barely eked out a walk off in the last game against the Dodgers. 2 walk offs in this win streak by Mitch Moreland, of course.
Yeah.
And then that game this afternoon, oh my God, 13-12 final score.
Oh my God.
It was a barn burner of a game. They forced extras. Byron Buxton hit a 2-run home run on the top,
I did see that.
and then their defense completely fell apart. The Twins. It was
Jeez.
god awful. Definitely look it up. It was a bases loaded, 2 outs, ground ball at second base. Do bobble that run comes in, 1-run game. Next play, ground out the third baseman. The dude threw it in another zip code, and they won on that.
Why didn't he step on the bag?
It was like a deep like ground ball,
Oh, okay.
where like it meant more much just to throw it across. But it wasn't even close. I immediately laughed. I was literally watching it an hour ago eating dinner.
Man, was it like the
Ride the wave.
tone? Oh my
Dallas
God.
Braden.
Jeez. Yeah. So I mean,
That's a good
again, I had a feeling. I mean, Oakland was one of my playoff teams. I had a feeling they were gonna. They always have these weird. I mean, they always have that win streak in the Moneyball year and everything. And yeah, they're a team that can get hot.
Yeah,
Something
so,
about
like,
it.
everyone's playing good because even like the Angels are still pretty good. Texas is playing a lot better than I thought, and the Astros are struggling, but half their lineups out with COVID. So
Yeah.
the West is
Doesn't
a lot better than I
doesn't
thought.
bode well for my division pick though. I will say that.
My
Um,
AL pick.
yeah, jeez. And then hopping over to the NL, I know you said surprise mediocrity in the NL East. I know there's been a lot of COVID issues there, especially with the Mets. Because they're sitting at 7-5 atop that division.
Well, it was the Nats had COVID, and then the Mets
Right.
had to go to like. Then there was the rain. They hit the East Coast, and they had to go to Colorado. They got hit with snow. It was just like they haven't like a consistent schedule so far.
Mhm.
Like they're playing not bad
So,
ball. Lindor his first home run tonight. So it just seems like the Braves are underperforming. The Marlins are hot right now. Phillies started off hot, but are kind of sliding. It's just a lot of like like
yeah,
it's gonna
anywhere
it's gonna
between
take time to figure it
yeah, like 7, 8, 9 wins. Yeah, well, yeah. Again, it's so early. It's tough to
out.
like
Yeah.
really diagnose the standings too much. Brew Crew also playing very well this year. Mike, again, they won 3 in a row, sitting at 11-7 and atop the NL Central at the moment. Cards aren't looking too good. They're 8-10 to start the year. That was my division pick. So, but yeah, definitely got to give credit to the Brewers here.
Well, I wrote I was so
You have a tape to come back on, I see.
yeah, because I remember going to like the team by team win total, and I was like, oh yeah, like when you think of the Brewers, you think like, oh, the ball flying out of there in the summer, like Yelich that one year, like Hira, their prospect coming up in 2019 had a good year. Now he just stinks. And I was like,
Who's
oh,
that?
Keston Hira.
Oh yeah, okay.
Came up, and it was just like,
Yeah.
I have my team only it's like 100, and I was like, oh yeah, they have Woodruff, but I don't really sure what their pitching is outside Woodruff. They have like the best ERA in baseball right now. Corbin
Mhm.
Burns. I think it was ridiculous stat.
I can't not think Corbin Burnson every
I
time I
know
hear his
that's what's
name.
hilarious. But
Expecting Roger Dorn to
he's
come
doing
through,
some
but anyway.
ridiculous things last night. He shut down the Padres last night. He has 40 strikeouts this year,
Mhm.
0 walks.
Jeez.
And you have Freddie Peralta as a 3 guy striking out. So like their pitching's been great. And I completely disregarded them at the beginning of the year. So I had to my cap there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Brewers are they're sitting atop there. Out west, Dodgers obviously dominating coming off their weekend series versus the Padres. And that's the team I wanted to hit on. I know you mentioned it there. They're kind of just not quite coming out of the gate as hot. I know they've run into the Dodgers here, but just sitting at 10-10. San Francisco actually doing a lot better than them at 11-7.
Yeah, they've kind of middled a little bit. They've lost, like even they went to Pittsburgh and got beat up by them in a couple of games. Then
Yeah, 3-7 in the last 10.
yeah, the Dodgers definitely came in, and then the Brewers are in town. They've just been shut that offense down with their
Mhm.
pitching staff. So well, that's bad
Yeah.
for them
Yeah.
because they got to go to Chavez Ravine tomorrow for 4 games.
Oh, boy.
That's why it makes more
Back to back.
sense. Sunday Night Baseball this week is Padres,
Still run it back. I don't care.
and then yeah, and they're not on Fox on Saturday still. They're back-to-back MLB Network showcase on Friday, Saturday. You at least take that, right?
Watch that game.
Fair. But they're
It is birthday weekend, so I gotta,
well, that's
all the
it's a
songs
9
there.
and 10 on or like a 10 and 9 Friday, Saturday, respectively.
Okay. All right. I'll take that. I like the late starts sometimes on
Yeah.
the weekends. So
I think the one thing that's sad about is that it's going to be the end of April. It's going to be like April 24th, and we're going to have 7 of the 19 games.
yeah, that's true. But I don't know, stuff in the summer, be around like you stuff. I'd rather get them now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Like I just want like maybe like
Stuff going on.
one like right after the All-Star break, and keep one in September, and then the other 2 like sprinkling it
Yeah.
across.
Plus, I mean, we mentioned there's a lot now. We're kind of at the. I mean, we'll get into NBA and NHL playoffs in May and June and July and all that. So yeah, let's get them now while you have our attention. You know what I mean?
Fair point. Fair point.
But yeah, a few injuries to hit on. I know Ronnie Acuna. He's been kind of day to day, so it doesn't seem too serious at the moment. So again, hopefully he'll be back soon. Also, Lance Lynn and Juan Soto. They noted here as well, Mike.
Yeah, they both had the IL. Acuna more on the day-to-day route, but hate to see Acuna and Soto out.
Yeah, I mean, again, Acuna just seems like he's a little banged up and he'll be back. But yeah, so it's not out for too long. And then, yeah, finally, kind of just wrapping up here a few minor things. NFL drafts next week. We'll probably get more in depth on that. But a week from tomorrow, actually. So just about 8 days away there. I think we know how the top 2 is going to go. We'll see. We think a quarterback's going 3. We're not quite sure who that is. We've had the Felger S big board all week, which is always a fun game with them throwing the markers at the magazines. It's always a fun time around here. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on what's that?
Tightly wound.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then Maz breaking the monitor. It was a lot of fun content there. But then yeah, so let's see where the Patriots go. I'm seeing a lot of rumors that we might just bring back the entire quarterback room from last year, which absolutely terrifies me. Yeah, big thumbs down. Hopefully that they, even if not at 15, hopefully like again second round pick. Again, I got my eyes on Kellen Mond out there. What's that?
Day 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get Justin Fields somehow, but if that can't happen, I'll take Kellen Mond day 2. So we'll do more prep. I think as we get a little bit closer.
They'll probably do like a usual Sunday show like this to like kind of wrap up some like the big NBA and baseball series of the weekend, but we'll probably tailor a lot of Wednesday's show to draft content. Maybe I'll attempt a mock draft and see how I do.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should get into that. All right, getting ideas now. All right, and then a special sports. RIP. I know we end a lot of the shows like this. RIP to the Super League. For soccer, it had a good 2-day run. Our guy Big Cat pretty much single-handedly ended it. John Henry had to back out at the last second. I didn't quite watch the whole press conference, but it just that guy's so weird. Oh my god.
Bad luck from the Sox owner there. It's just
a rich weirdo, but he's oh my god. Yeah.
They just
so I missed all this kind of on Sunday night or whatever happened. I had to kind of get the quotes from kind of everything, and it made sense once it was explained to me that what was it, 8 or 12 teams, 12
12
teams, I think,
teams.
yeah, that we're gonna combine to form their own league, pretty much to guarantee revenue more specifically. And
Yeah, it was like
fans were not happy.
it was like majority England, Spain, and
Italy
then
too, I think.
one more country. I think they like left like
It was Italy.
yeah, Italy. Like I know they left like Germany out there too. Like they left them out.
Yeah.
Like oh,
Right. There was no Bayern. There was no
Yes,
PSG. Yeah, exactly.
so yeah, it just seemed like a money grab. And then the fact that like they said, like there's no like commercials there. So like a lot of ad revenue, like sponsors are like, we're gonna back out. Like FIFA's like, we're not gonna let players play. So they just like
Yeah.
called them out. And because usually like we're just so used to like, oh, there's like all these like games, like and all these travel, like there's a playing tournament just because these guys want to make money. And it's like, okay, I guess we're just gonna watch more sports. Or the soccer fans out there were just like rioting in the streets because they don't want the Super League.
I was just gonna say that, Mike. I was like, can we do something like I don't want this stupid 7-10 NBA tournament. Can we like take to like can we cause a huge uproar and have them put it back? Just make it top 8. Let's just stop this thing. It's ridiculous. So I gotta respect that. No matter what your opinions are of soccer and whether you try to track European soccer and everything, it's like at least they got power over there, man. And I really do appreciate that. I really wish we could have more voice heard for stupid things like that. Granted, I do wonder if we might have missed out on a few ideas because I think there were a few things out here that I'm thinking of. I can't quite come. Oh, like the 7 teams in NFL. Like I don't know if I would like that, but now I'm like, nah, it was actually pretty good. So there are certain things that you do kind of have to see first, but that was one that was clear cut. Yeah, just straight up for money and everything. But yeah, Super League is dead after a very short run. So I know a lot of fans either in Europe or over here who follow it closely are definitely happy about that.
Yeah, I guess one thing I have to say, like, I don't think I really want it over here. I found it extremely cool. The teams that just get relegated.
Oh yeah, just like send the like Sabres to
the
the AHL. Yeah,
like don't think
that's got to be.
But I just found it really cool.
Yeah, no, I think the reason it could never happen here is because like I don't know, like that's like one thing. England's a little better because they have a little bit more of a like diverse like team breakdown. Whereas like it's stupid. I feel like it's like, well, if you're in Spain, well, it's like, well, if you're not in Madrid or Barcelona, you kind of suck. Like you have no, you know what I mean? It's like teams can theoretically get better. Like it's not like the exact same teams that are good every year in sports over here. Like there's kind of like a cycle to it. It's like imagine like a good player. Like I'm trying to think. Like imagine like early days of like right after like LeBron left. It's like Kyrie, like you got like Kyrie Irving got relegated to like the second league, like that sucked. You know what I mean? Like whereas like overseas, like no, there's no really good
relegated to
good
the
on
G League
teams anyway. So
relegated to the
G League. Imagine like
James, main run clause are coming up.
Or what about like 07, like Celtics get relegated, then you sign KG and Ray Allen. It's like, well, what is going on here? So it's like it's just like, it would never work, but it is cool. I do figure from afar, it's cool to see and everything. So brief soccer segment here on the show, which might be one of the first of those. We'll see once we get into Olympics, World Cup, all this stuff. But yeah, I think that pretty much does it for today. Like I said, we hit on the 3 leagues in action now. We do have the draft coming up. So we'll do a bit more as we get closer to that date. But yeah, let's see how the Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, plus all the other teams in these leagues do to finish out the week here going into the weekend. And we'll be back on Sunday afternoon.
See you guys.